WYSH. Investment. And when it comes to the safety of your family, you don't want to mess around. If you need a new roof or roofing repair, call Dixie Roofing today. 865-544-0031. Dixie Roofing is one of the most respected roofing companies in the country. Dixie Roofing's been in business since 1982 and installed more than 100 million square feet of warranted roof systems. Why would you pay more money to a company that does all kinds of construction when you could have a company that does just one thing, roofing? Just because Dixie Roofing is the best doesn't mean they're the most expensive. They stand behind their work and they don't use subcontractors to do their roofing. They do it themselves. That's why they can stand behind it.
Well, welcome to the locker room. Glad to have you with us on this last day of January. Boy, it seemed like January's a long time, doesn't it?
Cold too.
Wow, seems like it's been forever. So we'll get to rocking along now. February will be gone before you know it, and then it'll be springtime, and good things will be happening here. So high school basketball certainly taking spotlight right now. One more football game left, and that'll close out football, and then high school basketball tournaments, then the March Madness, and then maybe a little warm weather. Be ready, be lake weather then.
I hope it comes before March Madness. It warms up before then.
Well, March Madness, usually on March Madness. In fact, last couple of years, on the Sunday when we draw teams and stuff, it's been pretty nice weather. So
maybe it'll be again this year.
Hope so.
Who knows?
Hope so. High school basketball, though, like I say, taking the front stage, and got some scores last night. Campbell County girls 56, Oak Ridge 54.
Yeah, and that game, as I told you earlier before we came on there, it's played in Oak Ridge last night. So Campbell County girls traveled down, and I think Oak Ridge, I know they were undefeated at the time. Now they got a loss. So they'll play again, I think, in a couple of weeks.
So if Campbell County holds serve at home, they're district champs.
Right. So they'll play again, like I said, in a couple of weeks, I think, or 5, 6, 7 days, something like that.
Yeah,
right
in February. Maybe next week.
Yeah, sometime in February, right there at the first. So we'll that'd be a game worth going to see.
Yeah. Oliver Springs girls 56, Cofield 50, Clinton 44, Halls girls 37, Powell girls 48, Anderson County 40, Oneida girls 62, Oakdale 48, Sunbright girls 44, Rockwood 28. Union County 44, Cumberland Gap 34, and Alcoa girls defeat Kingston 35-28. On the boys' side, Oak Ridge 89, Campbell County 54. Cofield boys 72, Oliver Springs 45. Halls 79, Clinton 71. Anderson County 57, Powell 43. Oneida over Oakdale 64-63. Big ball game there.
Messes things up a little bit, scrambled it up some.
Makes it really getting tight because Oakdale had just lost to Harriman, so that's getting that puts Harriman in pretty good shape right now. Rockwood boys 62, Sunbright 59, and Alcoa boys 68, Kingston 43. So if you look at the district standings in District 3 Single A, Oakdale is at 19-4. Not sure that's probably not including last night's loss. And Harriman, Oakdale is 11-1 in the district. Harriman is 10-2. So Harriman could possibly be in the lead there now if you take that win out. Cofield 7-4, Wartburg 7-5, Oneida 6-4, Rockwood 5-6. I think Rockwood still has to go to Oakdale next week. So Harriman, Harriman got a slow start, and then they've done real well. So they're coming down the stretch. In District 3 AA, it's Carter 7-1, leading that. District 4 AA, Fulton is 7-1. Austin East is 4-1, and in trouble. Austin East may not get to play anymore.
Rest of the year, they're gone.
They
what I understand.
had the altercation with
Brainerd.
Chattanooga Brainerd, so they're suspended play. So that's gonna have a big
Number
effect
3
there.
ranked team in the state.
So Alcoa would be next at 2-2, Kingston at 1-4. So that district is in a tipsy-tozzy situation there right now.
Yep.
District 3 AAA, Oak Ridge, still undefeated, 10-0. Powell 9-3, Carnes 8-2, Anderson County 5-5, and Clinton 3-8. In the District 4 AAA, Bearden, number 1 team in the states, 12-0 in the district, 24-1 overall. Maryville 9-2, and Maryville's made a little noise here lately. Catholic 8-4, Maryville with the big win over Catholic last night, and Farragut at 5-7. Division 2, in Division 2 District 1A, it's Knoxville Webb 5-0, Grace Christian 5-1. So Coach Norris has his basketball team playing well. On the girls' side, it's Sunbright in District 3 Single A. Sunbright 10-1, Wartburg 10-2, Oneida 9-2, Midway 8-4, and then it goes down. Oliver Springs 6-6, Oakdale 3-8, Rockwood 3-8, Cofield 1-10, and Harriman 1-10. And in District 4 AA, Kingston is 4-1. Fulton 4-2, Alcoa 3-1, and Scott County 1-5, Austin East 0-3. Now, I don't. Does that affect the girls as well at Austin East? Would that get them both?
I assume it does.
Does it?
That's the whole program, I think.
And in District 3 3A, Oak Ridge was 10-0, Campbell County 9-0. Now Oak Ridge 10-1, and Campbell County 10-0 with last night's win. So this didn't have last night's in it. Halls 7-4, Powell 7-5. So coming on to the district tournament, it's anybody's game still, because they're the big thing is the top 2 teams, I think, get buys for that district tournament. District tournament's usually held at first round games usually held at a
Yeah, some of them play site.
school.
Some of them play site
and
games.
then in fact I think the Roan State will host the district for
Wartburg and all that, Cofield and
2A,
all
yeah.
that.
So
Sure, Brad's glad of that.
that's a pretty good way to do it. Neutral site.
It's not always been that way, though.
No.
Just this
No,
year.
just
They
this year.
lobbied. It's always been at Wartburg, because Wartburg's got the bigger. In fact, Wartburg might have the only gym that meets the qualifications seating-wise. So they lobbied to get it moved to Roan State.
I'm not sure Rockwood's gym wouldn't qualify. I just
Well,
I just think it's
I know Brad
centrally
said- I don't
centrally
think-
located, because that way
I don't think-
you don't have Oneida, Sunbright, Wartburg having to travel to Harriman, because Harriman's gym would be plenty.
I know Cofield's gym's not big enough.
Right.
I've heard Brad say that, so that's the reason I
Yeah,
said what I
Harriman's
said.
gym, but it's just that location. Wartburg is sort of in the central of that district. But now, of course, if you're having it at Roan State, that puts them right back in a bad situation. Oneida and Sunbright and Wartburg would
Have to make that travel.
traveling a little bit. But in those districts, you're going to be traveling. So that's our high school basketball. And if you haven't been able to get out and watch a game, you need to get out, because in fact I think Cofield comes to Rockwood Friday night, so that'll be a big game, and those are pretty good rivalry games, close at hand. So, and both teams need a win. They need to win that thing to move up in the standings. So,
Or stay where they're at or advance a little bit.
You have a better chance at moving on through the district. So, and as evenly matched as they all are this year, they've sort of beaten up on each other, except for Harriman and Oakdale. And Oakdale now is on a little. They may be a 2 or 3 game losing streak.
Wrong time to start losing.
Yep,
That's for sure.
It is. So big win last night for Oneida, though, as they get a win against Oakdale. But that's where we are. High school basketball. We'll take a break. We'll come back and talk a little bit college basketball. Be right back.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
In today's world, you don't stay in business long without providing exceptional customer service. The Duff family has been providing exceptional customer service for over 44 years. Our customers rate us highly, as shown by the fact we're the only dealer in Tennessee to have earned the Subaru Stellar Care Award for customer satisfaction 6 years in a row. Check our online reviews or ask your friends. They'll tell you to come to Earl Duff Subaru, where buying is a pleasure.
Lease the 2018 Outback for just $239 per month at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. Mulch & More offers mulch, the best topsoil in the area. All types of gravel, sand, pea gravel, either loose or in bags, creek rock, river rock, field stone, mountain mist stone, railroad cross ties, straw bales, fence posts, farm gates, and much more. Mulch & More offers backhoe and dump truck service. And Mulch & More can also demolish a house or building on your property, and they'll haul it off for you. Give Gary a call today at 865-740-5229 for Mulch & More in Midtown.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
Welcome back. We want to tell you about, again, a big event taking place down at the Princess Theater Saturday night. One of our former colleagues here on Wednesday night, Pat Sheets, having a little health problems, and they're having a benefit gospel singing down at the Princess. All the proceeds will go to the Cancer Society, which Relay for Life in Roane County is the cancer arm down there. And Roger Rule, another former person that's been, well, he was responsible for Channel 12 and Channel 7. As we used to start out, we were Channel 7 down in Roane County, and Roger Rule was the force behind all of that. So, and a legend down in Roane County with the Cablevision. So, Roger singing with a group from Kodak. So, Roger will be teaming up with Pat Saturday night. So invite you to come down to the Princess Theater. I think tickets are $10, and they'll have a lot of good singing going on down there Saturday night, and I'm sure Pat would appreciate all your prayers and thoughts and concerns for him and his family at this time. Lady Vols.
Told you. You don't want to listen to me.
Told me what? You've told me so much about them.
I told you they're horrible.
You're up and down.
What does this year remind you of?
Up and down.
What does this year remind you of? Last year, right?
Sort of the last. It really reminds me sort of the last couple of years when Pat Summitt was
No,
coaching.
we're not going to go that far back. We're just talking about Holly.
Oh, we're just going to talk about
That's
Holly.
right. We're talking about Holly.
Why would you just talk about Holly?
Because Pat's no longer in the picture. We're talking about Holly. This is Holly's
You asked me
team.
what it reminded me of.
Reminds me of Holly.
Well, you asked me what it
well,
reminded
no,
me of, and I told you, and then you wanted
maybe
to
I need to
change it.
clarify. What's it remind you of with Holly Warwick as the coach? Losing. She doesn't know how to get them out of the funk. It's time for her to go.
So who do you bring in?
I don't know. I don't have any
so
idea.
You're off of bringing in McRae now.
I don't care who they bring. You just asked me who they bring in.
You've been for years.
I have said that she would be better. She might be better than Holly, but you might be better than Holly too. Well, no, you don't know how to coach.
She hasn't won.
You couldn't go. It'd be the same situation. It'd be even worse if you went to coaching.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
I just said that right here. I just said it,
well,
so I know it.
But you don't know. You said a lot of things. I mean,
you're out.
We can go back
Listen,
and retract half the stuff
I'll
you
call
said.
Philip, and you're out, so don't worry about that. But anyway, I don't know who they bring in. To me, it wouldn't matter.
Well, sure it does.
No, it doesn't.
Well, there's a lot out there worse than Holly. Now, I don't disagree that she's making less progress. She started off this year with the good freshman class. And I guess the Notre Dame game is when they really started hitting. Not necessarily the thing that I look at is like against Notre Dame, when you're shooting uncontested layups and nobody's even hustling down the floor, then that's when I call timeout and I put me 5 new ones in.
Last 2 games has been that way.
Somewhat.
Last 2 games has been that way.
But at the same time, if you don't have that list that all athletic directors are supposed to have in their pocket at any given time, that short list, then you might not be getting anything any better. That's what I'm wondering. Who would you get?
I would probably go after the coach at Louisville. He had a pretty good run up there.
Pretty good run.
I'd go after him.
But I think at the same time, you have to give Holly credit for following a legend like Pat Summitt and lasting as long as she has. I mean, you look at Bear Bryant. Look at any of the legends, and see how many coaches it took them to get through the memory of that legend to get back on solid ground.
The only thing that's kept people off her back this year so far was the hot start, jumping out, I think 16-0. That's kept them off their back. Now they're going to lose again tomorrow night to Texas A&M. They're rolling in, and that'll be another loss for them. So there's just no effort, there's no rebounding, there's no hustling.
But again, I think you have to have someone, and I think the fact that Holly is still the first coach since Pat Summitt might make it a little difficult to get one of the top 2 or 3 that you would have on. For instance, I think there was probably a time when coach at South Carolina would love to have been here. I'm not sure anymore, simply because of you're still following that legend and you're just one coach removed.
I can't remember if it's a guy from A&M or if it's a guy from Mississippi State. I don't remember which one. I believe it's more the guy from A&M a couple years ago when she was in a rut and they had just maybe beat them for the first time. Mississippi State, that he said, he made the comment after the game that she had the toughest job in the country, following who she's following, blah, 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 blah.
Sort of what I'm just saying.
It's sort of what you're just saying, but, he come to her defense, and still yet, you can really tell she's lost this team.
Now here's the other thing that you have to consider too. Coach at Mississippi State, just has gotten that program where it's top notch, big time program.
It's Texas A&M, I think, is the coach, not Mississippi
He's
State,
an older
but it
guy.
don't matter. It's an older. He's an older.
But Mississippi State was the first time last year they beat them. They ever beat them.
So
But,
you know.
But my point is, now you've let some time go to where some of the guys that, or some of the coaches that you probably would have been able to go get, may not be as apt to come now, as eager to come now, because of where their programs are now.
I guess I agree.
I mean,
with you
she's
on
got
that.
another class coming in next year. I mean, it's probably going to be a tough call for Fulmer to make, because, you know, do you let her get through this class and next year's class to see, or do you say there's not enough coaching?
I think when she doesn't make it, as far as the fans think she should make it this year, that the writing will be on the wall. Now, I'm thinking everybody really thought with this recruiting class coming in, and nobody did, at the time, I don't think nobody was thinking we were going to have so many people defect too. We had a bunch of leave.
And that's why.
And that's not been a bad thing.
And that's why I'm saying, though, with this class coming in and playing with 3 freshmen,
times 4,
and you've got 3 McDonald's All-Americans coming in next year. Do you give her the benefit of having lost those folks? You got a good nucleus coming back. Do you give her next year and say before the season starts, Holly, this is it. This is it. You've either got to get here, or we're going to have to cut the ties.
I think that conversation should have been held this year.
And it may have been had you not lost a lot of people, because I really think a lot of folks felt like one of those losses was probably the bad blood that was poison.
Yeah, but you know, I don't understand why that was, though, because this girl wanted to really come to. I mean, she could have stayed at North Carolina, but she really wanted to. I mean,
maybe there was a reason she wanted to come here.
Maybe there is. But right out of the gate, when she went there was some conflict over her going to North Carolina, and then
I think the thing that hurt her and the program was the year she sat out.
Yeah.
You know, she's sitting there on the sidelines with a lot of time on her hands.
Anyway, it happens, but I think Holly's lost the team, so we'll see.
But I would concur with you that if it doesn't happen this year, that next year is probably the agreement before the season ever starts, and it probably would be a public agreement that Holly knows. And I can't imagine with 2 back-to-back really good recruiting years and her not getting the job done. I can't believe that she wouldn't want to leave. That she would say, hey, I just didn't get it done. Because I think one of the problems that they've had over there to some degree, all of the coaches have come from former players, mostly. You know, I don't know that how, you know, the coaching assistant-wise has been really what it needed to be. So maybe there's, you know, and there's very, very few shakeups. There's a coach leaving here and a coach leaving there.
She's only got one assistant coach that's a former player, and that's what's her name? Gordon, Bridget Gordon. She's the only one.
Oh, I thought she had a couple.
Not that I know of. Bridget Gordon.
So
now, if there is,
it'll be interesting to see.
She's got Lockwood that's been there forever.
Yep.
And I don't think she has another one, though, not that I know of.
Well, you know they've got more than 2 assistant
No,
coaches.
I know they do, but I don't believe the others were players, though.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody might know more than me and can tell you.
But that's
but there's former players, though, that are coaching everywhere. Some of them are even head coaches, and they're doing fairly well.
They are, but do they want to come back into the grind, like I say, of the pressures?
Probably some of them don't.
But they're 5-3 in the SEC. You know, 17-4 overall. So I mean, it's hard with a 17-4 record to you know, a lot of programs aren't 17-4.
Still saying when she don't make it as far as they think she could make it, then she'll be in trouble. You could probably ask them right now, and they'd probably tell you she's not in any trouble. But when she don't make it to at least the Elite 8 or the Final 4, she'll be in trouble.
I think she'd probably make it to the Elite Eight because
She ain't the last couple of years.
They're not that many. No, but I'm saying there are not that many programs that.
Well, there's at least 11 better than her right now in front of her. So.
Well, that doesn't mean they're better. That means they're ranked. They're rated.
They're ranked better. They're playing better. Everything.
Well,
listen, you got to rank. You got to look at Tennessee right now on a scale of 1 to 10. They're playing about a 3, if a 3. I wouldn't even know that I'd give them a 3. They're getting outplayed on every aspect of the game. I mean, every aspect of the game, they're getting outplayed. So that's not a very good basketball team right now. If A&M comes in tomorrow night and puts a spanking on them like everybody thinks they will in front of the home crowd over, there'll be some angry people. They're not used to people like that beating Tennessee. They've got accustomed to it here in the last 3 or 4 years.
A&M's had some pretty good teams.
Yeah, they've had some really good teams.
A&M has. LSU is not one of those teams, though.
No, she didn't. She had very young, even maybe a younger team overall than what Tennessee's got.
LSU wasn't one of those teams.
There's no effort. No effort. No defensive effort. No rebounding. Not hustling back.
On the men's side, still pretty good. A big game for them tonight. LSU for the men tonight.
It'll be an easy game. They'll romp.
Should be.
They'll romp tonight.
But typically the
probably a game LSU wins before.
Typically the easiest games for them have been their worst games.
Well, I'm saying it's a typical easy game for them. LSU will win by 40.
But I like the way Barnes. He lets them know exactly where they stand. You know, when he came out after the Vanderbilt game, you know, and sat down with the announcers, and he didn't sugarcoat it at all.
Nope. You know, told it like it was.
And I like that about him. I like the fact that he is making sure the players understand that when he's not happy, he's not happy.
He's got a young basketball team too.
A young basketball team.
I think everybody's back on that team next year.
And the SEC tournament, being in Nashville is a lot of fun. They ought to just make it permanent down there. That's a great venue. You come out of the arena, and you're right there on Broadway. And
yep, it's a good place.
Just go to walking, have a big time. But you still like Kansas to win it all on the men's side?
I don't know. I like Kansas. I mean, that's who I like. I think you could really flip. And I think I told you last week if I had to, you just held my feet to the fire, I might pick Villanova. But I like Kansas. I like Kansas. I would have said, I think I did say this last week, I thought West Virginia might, but West Virginia's not been playing good neither.
I like Duke coming on strong.
No, I'm not for
I think they've got good guard play. The big men are capable of.
Just got beat the other day by Virginia.
Virginia was looking good, though.
Virginia beat them the other day, beat Duke. North Carolina lost last night to Clemson. Yeah. So I think it's a flip of a coin right now. It might be more jumbled up this coming up year than it's ever been before in the history of basketball.
I don't think there's a clear favorite like there has been the last several years.
Well, I think the clear favorite would probably just be Villanova right now. Just because they're ranked number one.
Yeah, but there's no reason for them to be a clear favorite.
No, not really. You're right. I agree with that. But if I had to just pick one day, you just maybe pick one. Because I don't think Kansas is playing that well. I don't think Kansas is deep enough to make that run. I would probably say Villanova. I'd just go with Villanova.
Well, they've got good guard play, and you got to have good guard play to be a contender.
And just think that's a team that Tennessee had on the road and should have beat it.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back after this.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry, plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
In today's world, you don't stay in business long without providing exceptional customer service. The Duff family has been providing exceptional customer service for over 44 years. Our customers rate us highly, as shown by the fact we're the only dealer in Tennessee to have earned the Subaru Stellar Care Award for customer satisfaction 6 years in a row. Check our online reviews or ask your friends. They'll tell you to come to Earl Duff Subaru, where buying is a pleasure.
Lease the 2018 Outback for just $239 per month at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. Mulch & More offers mulch, the best topsoil in the area. All types of gravel, sand, pea gravel, either loose or in bags, creek rock, river rock, field stone, mountain mist stone, railroad cross ties, straw bales, fence posts, farm gates, and much more. Mulch & More offers backhoe and dump truck service. And Mulch & More can also demolish a house or building on your property, and they'll haul it off for you. Give Gary a call today at 865-740-5229 for Mulch & More in Midtown.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
And welcome back to the locker room. Glad to have you with us again. And again, tonight we'd like to tell you about Saturday night at the Princess Theater in Harriman. Some gospel singing, benefit the Cancer Society. Roane County's arm is the Relay for Life, but a former Sports Around Roane panelist, Pat Sheets, in trouble a little bit health-wise and needs your help, and we hope that you'd come out and support the Cancer Society. Saturday night, 7 o'clock at the Princess. Roger Rule, another big player in Wednesday night, and basically the whole Cablevision spectrum of getting stuff started in Roane County. We'll also be singing with an outfit from the Kodak area, so invite you to come out. Nothing like live TV, is there?
That's exactly right.
Let's just talk just a little bit about college football recruiting wise. Tennessee continues to be in on a lot of folks. They lost one to Arkansas yesterday, I think, another commitment, but you never know. You still got till next Wednesday, I think, or a week from Wednesday.
Yeah, you know, Tennessee's in the running for some really good. They're in the running for some really good players right now. So that losing that one to Arkansas might not really matter. They might have not even been room for him anyway. They're in the running for a couple linebackers and a couple other people. I mean, they get to one linebacker. They've done said right now he's completely different than any linebacker they've got over there. I mean, he don't even look the same. So
you know, and the good thing about about that is Pruitt coming from Alabama, and then his coordinator coming from Georgia, and obviously both of those schools. And both of those recruiting areas are huge for Tennessee, so you know they may eke one or two more players out of this class to really give them a boost going into summer camp.
Well, let's have talked to some recruiters the other day, and they said if Tennessee could wind up in the top, it'd just be 15th or better. It'd really been a great year. If they're in the top 10, off the charts is what it would be. It'd be one of the best. I mean, it'd be up there. So they're in a pretty good position where they're at right now at 17. So you know they're going to land a few, and they feel pretty good about this class. There's 4 kids. There's 4 kids they're really targeting, and if they get those 4 kids, I think they're rocking and rolling right where they want to be. It don't really matter, though, if you can recruit. If you can't coach them, it don't matter.
What do you think about this first early signing? You like
I don't know that I like it.
Seems like it puts.
Let me ask you a question.
Seems like it puts the teams that are in bowl games and playoff in a really, really bad situation.
If there's an early signing period, why didn't these other kids go ahead and sign? Why didn't everybody sign?
Well, I think some of them were still looking at their some of them probably were in the playoffs and stuff and hadn't been able to take official visits. So they wanted to take their official visits. I think some were hoping that perhaps if they were in a big bowl game or they were in the playoffs, that perhaps another big game or two would maybe lift them up into a little higher.
Yeah, but if you're already committed to Tennessee or Alabama or Georgia or somebody in the SEC, your stock's not going to. I mean, it's not going to go. I mean, that's where you want to come play football anyway, or I would think that's where you want to come.
Maybe.
But I don't think your stock's going to go up anymore.
Well, so you're saying if you had an offer from Tennessee and something, you had another game or two, and somebody, a Miami came to you, or a Notre Dame, or somebody.
I'm going to Tennessee. If you're committed to Alabama today and you didn't sign at the first 30 signing period, why didn't you do that?
Well, like I say, you may have wanted to just take some official visits just to be taking them. I mean, I don't understand why kids don't take all 5.
I know, I've heard you say it before, and I sort of agree, but I just don't understand if you're committed, go ahead and sign.
Well, and a lot of
because
times
because let's say you are committed and you want to say you got 3 more visits, you're lying to somebody.
No,
you're lying to somebody. You're lying to yourself.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah, you are. Because you have zero intentions of going there. Zero.
That's not lying to anybody.
Yeah, we ain't gonna. You
well,
ain't swinging many
under
people.
that scenario, then, if I'm Coach Pruitt, and a guy's committed to Alabama, or he's committed to Georgia, or he's committed to Clemson, or Miami, or Notre Dame, then I'm not going to waste an official visit on him.
All you have to do is look at when it's all said and done.
Okay.
Look and see how Jeremy Pruitt. Look and see of all the guys he recruited this year, how many he actually sworn to come to Tennessee. Probably won't be no more than 2 to 3.
Well, but those 2 to 3 could be a difference.
But they did it early.
No, I'm talking about the folks that didn't sign early, that he's after right now, that were committed to Alabama or Georgia. Why would he waste a visit? Why would he waste the money on a visit for him?
There's only one right now. It's Alabama, and that's the linebacker.
Well, but there's still plenty. All of these guys that he's recruiting now are committed to somewhere. They're committed somewhere.
Yeah, they are. You're
okay.
Right.
So why would he waste the visit?
I don't know why you do that.
Well, because obviously you're convinced that what you've got to sell is as good as or better than these other players.
Yeah, I think when it comes right down to it, though, out of all that group, you don't wind up maybe 1 or 2.
Well, which I mean, you just said we're trying to get from 15 to in the top 15, or to the top 10.
Yeah, but the linebacker puts us there.
So why do you waste a visit on him?
I reckon he wanted to come up here because Pruitt, his relationship with Pruitt, I think.
Okay,
but they still ain't got him sworn, though.
But why do you waste a visit on him?
That's a good question. Another guy is pretty much committed pretty big time to Auburn, and he's coming too.
These guys,
I think he's a defensive lineman.
These coaches have the personality that.
Oh, I know they try to get them in and flip them. I know they try to get them in and flip them.
You have to.
But I don't understand if a kid's committed, he get the early signing and get it over with.
Well, if he does the early signing, yeah. But I'm just saying, if they haven't signed early, as you indicated.
But what does that tell you if they've not signed early? Why have they not signed?
Don't have my mind made up.
Oh, but you've committed to Alabama, but you don't have your mind made up.
Well, you got to understand when you say committed.
Wait
a minute. When you say committed is not the same definition as you commit to some things that solidify.
Nick Saban drives up and pulls your driveway down in Roane County, and he gets out and he comes and sits in your living room, and he offers your son a scholarship to go to the University of Alabama, and he gets back in his car and he leaves, and the early signing period comes along and your son's not signed with him, you'd be kicking him all the way to Alabama to make him sign. Why, you would too.
Why would you?
Why would you turn that? Why would you turn? First of all, I would be afraid that if I didn't do it then, if I didn't get on the first round, there might not be no second round, because there could be somebody that might be just a little bit better than me. So that's my thinking.
But this is a deal where you're talking about 18-year-old kids, and when you say commitment.
Well, I understand they don't.
Back 6 months ago or 8 months ago.
I understand that.
That's all that's saying is, you're my number one choice. That's the only commitment it is. You're my number one choice today. Today.
Well, today has done come and gone.
Okay. So tomorrow you'll still be my number one choice until this weekend, because I'm going to Georgia this weekend, or I'm going to Miami, or I'm going to Alabama this weekend, and if I think what I really think in my heart, you're probably still going to be number one. But
once again, if I've been offered by Alabama, I don't go no place else.
Well,
I don't go. I understand it's not, but I'm just telling you, I don't go no place else.
Well,
Alabama's recruiting period ought to be over with right now. Done. Zero done.
They're dealing with the same 18-year-olds everybody else.
I understand they are. And
even if it's Alabama, you know, these kids want to see. They want to, you know, you're talking about 18-year-old kids, some of them who've never been out of the state that they live in.
I understand that too. I'm with you on all that.
Here, all of a sudden, you're hearing about, you know, they go to these all-star games, and they're hearing about all of the fun these guys are having on these official visits. Count me in.
You wouldn't get to be counted in too long if I was a coach, like someplace like Alabama.
Oh no! Now you got to understand, these coaches have thick skin. They're going to be told no more than they are yes.
I wouldn't think there'd be too many.
They're going to be told no. They're going to be told no more than they're told yes, because you're only going to get about 20 to begin with. So you can only get 20 yeses.
I think Tennessee's only got room to sign 5 or 6.
So they're going to hear no more than they are yes.
So they had them all labeled out there the other day, and they give the top 4 or 5 that they, you know, and they're in the running for all of them except for maybe one of them. But the big catch is a linebacker that is committed to Alabama.
Is that the one from Georgia?
I'm not for sure. I don't remember where he was from. They said he doesn't look like nothing like any linebacker we've got. You can sure pick him out.
Well, I mean,
you can pick he's a difference maker.
If you looked at any of those playoff games, you could look at a lot of positions, and we're not there.
I think the troubling spot at Tennessee is 2 places, really. I'm going to say one's quarterback and one's running back. I think we're going to be short at both.
Well, we're going to be short on some line play.
I think we're going to have a freshman quarterback when it's all said and done.
Do you?
Yep.
Okay, we'll leave it right there. We'll be right back. Take a break.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry, plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
In today's world, you don't stay in business long without providing exceptional customer service. The Duff family has been providing exceptional customer service for over 44 years. Our customers rate us highly, as shown by the fact we're the only dealer in Tennessee to have earned the Subaru Stellar Care Award for customer satisfaction 6 years in a row. Check our online reviews or ask your friends. They'll tell you to come to Earl Duff Subaru, where buying is a pleasure.
Lease the 2018 Outback for just $239 per month at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Mulch & More in Midtown is your landscaping headquarters. Mulch & More offers mulch, the best topsoil in the area. All types of gravel, sand, pea gravel, either loose or in bags, creek rock, river rock, field stone, mountain mist stone, railroad cross ties, straw bales, fence posts, farm gates, and much more. Mulch & More offers backhoe and dump truck service. And Mulch & More can also demolish a house or building on your property, and they'll haul it off for you. Give Gary a call today at 865-740-5229 for Mulch & More in Midtown.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
Welcome back to the locker room and college baseball fixing to take off.
Won't be long, will it?
No, I mean they
like maybe here in the next
3 weeks,
week or two or something like that.
About the middle of the month, yeah. It'd be interesting to see, what the expectations are from Tennessee.
Win, baby, win.
But it'll be interesting to see if they
win.
If they win. I mean, it seems like the three pitchers that he was talking about the other day were same ones from last year. So I don't know if he's brought. I don't know what kind of recruiting situation he's got, but defense was third on his, on his evaluation of strength. So you better have some pretty good defense.
Better have some pretty good pitching.
So
Tennessee's trouble in the last couple of years has been winning those games they should win.
Yep.
Middle of the week games.
And at least one weekend game. They get swept a lot.
Got swept a lot. Win a weekend game, win a series every now and then. I don't think nobody expects them to go over and win every series, but win the games through the week.
What'd you think about the Cleveland Indians foregoing their logo?
Well, the Cleveland Indians didn't forgo their logo. The commissioner told them it's time for it to go. I don't know. I got mixed feelings, but I don't know. I really don't. I mean, I'm not a Cleveland Indians fan, so it really don't matter.
Well, expecting them, Washington Redskins.
The Redskins done said they're not doing it.
But
Dan Snyder's done told them. Told the commissioner.
They won't have any choice.
He's done told the commissioner he's not willing to give his name up.
But he may not tell the courts that.
Well, he may not.
That's where it'll go.
Yeah, but see, I don't think that's disrespectful.
Well, I'm not saying I think it's disrespectful. I'm just saying.
I don't understand why you would. I understand why people take people to court. You don't have to have really a reason. You can just do it. I don't see that disrespect. Now, somebody could call in here and give a really good argument, and I might say, hey, I agree with you 100% now after I've heard it that way. But I don't know that it's disrespectful. I don't know.
Well, I think what they're doing is going on, going on previous law. The things that have been brought to court and the court cases and stuff that are that are setting the precedent. But it's just a.
Then where does it actually stop at?
I don't think it ever stops.
What if somebody decides they don't like the Volunteers or the Vols or Big Orange?
I don't think it ever stops. I think
that's what I'm saying. If it was something that was really, I don't know. I know it's a touchy situation, and it's a situation a lot of people don't want to talk about. understand. I probably don't want to talk about it neither, but I guess the best out for me is just, I'm not a Cleveland fan, so that really don't matter to me, but, you could have the Braves.
Well, but it's the Cleveland Indians one day and something else tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying. You could have the Braves, they've talked about the Braves and the chop stuff, and then they talked about Florida State and taking it out of theirs. I mean, how long's the Braves been the Braves, and how long's the Cleveland Indians been the Cleveland Indians? How long's the Washington Redskins been the Washington Redskins?
Since the beginning.
Since the beginning. So, I mean, what makes it any different today than it was 50 years ago or 60 years ago?
The law.
Well, I understand that, but...
I mean, that's what I'm saying, though, the court cases.
But I don't know how the Cleveland Indians reflects badly back. I mean, I don't understand. Maybe I just don't understand it. Maybe I need to have some training on it to understand it. Maybe I'd understand it better.
That'd be a good deal. We may
Get
send
the
you some sensitivity training.
I don't need no sensitivity training. I'm not sensitive about it.
You need some, you need
It
to call
don't matter
for that.
to me.
You need sensitivity
It don't matter
training.
to me. It don't matter to me.
That's why you need
Cleveland
sensitivity
fan.
training.
I'm not a
It
Cleveland
don't matter
fan.
about Cleveland. We're talking about sensitivity training now.
I'm not taking sensitivity training. I'm not sensitive.
See, that's
about
exactly
it
why
like
you need it.
The sensitivity training that's really been needing to go out this year's been to go out to basketball officials, because they've really got real sensitive in their calls.
See, that's why you need to take it. That attitude right there.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll find me and you a class and we'll both go.
I don't need to.
But you're going anyway, because you do need to.
No.
Because you're in denial that you don't need to.
No, I'm very sensitive to those kinds of things. But you just need some
But
sensitivity.
anyway, it won't be just a couple of weeks. The pitchers and catchers report for Major League, and they'll be ready to crank too.
Yeah, it's in fact, I'm going down to 16th, I think, so I'll get to see some of that.
You'll be down there at the same time I'll be down there.
Good. Maybe we can take sensitivity training down
together. No, I'm going racing.
No.
There's no sensitivity where I'm going.
No, there's no sensitivity. They run each other off the road.
They do. So, right. Where are you going? You going to see somebody? I mean, you going to? Where are you going?
Yeah, we're going down to right out of Naples.
Naples. Who's that? What teams?
Well, there's the down in Buena Vista, Bonita Springs, and on up a little bit. Red Sox are there. The Braves used to be in Bradenton.
Yeah.
There are 2 or 3 teams right down in that area, so there'll be some good spring baseball down there. We talked a little bit earlier about Austin East and Brainerd. Well, that's something that you really hate to, that got over into the stands, and there's just no place for that in high school. Now you talk about the referees being insensitive. That's really where the officials need to be in control from the opening tip.
I'm going to try to repeat this right. I think I was told that before that happened, there'd already been 3 technical fouls called. One on the coach and one each on 2 different players for AE, so for a total of 3.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's what I read.
So, think about you asked a question that I'm not for sure when I said, yeah, I think it does. I'm not really for sure of that, but it's a shame that if it's knocked the girls out, the girls didn't have anything to do with it. Not that they, I mean,
it's not,
but it affects the whole.
But I'm like you. I'm not sure if the school would, if it would be the school or if it would be just the boys.
And I said that. I took it to be for the rest of the year. They're through for the rest of the year. I assume that means tournament and everything.
Well, it seemed like the way I read it, they were waiting on Austin East to send them in the report and what they were going to do. So if Austin East, I guess, has a discipline plan that's stringent enough for the TSSAA, then they could say you can play with these restrictions.
I don't know if they do or not. So, and they also wanted Austin East to take responsibility.
And that's what I'm saying is they're waiting on them.
So far, they've not
they're waiting on
they're
them.
not taking any responsibility
to report.
So I don't know. The last ones they got for this right here was for the year and for the tournament.
And this was Austin East as well.
No, wasn't Austin East. Now, the last, I believe somebody done football, and that was for the rest of the year plus the tournament. Then you get put on something, and then they got put on probation for the next year. Was allowed to play, but not advance in the playoffs. That happened to a team this year. Well, that's because they refused to go play a game. But I don't know.
Well, I mean, I understand.
It's a bad situation.
You know, it's easy to. It's
you know,
easy for tempers to flare, and you lose control. But
you win as a team, you lose as a team, and you go home as a team. So that's what's happening.
But that's one of those situations too, where I'm sure, from an officiating standpoint, when you feel the game is out of control, I'm sure sometimes they'll tell you, stop it before that fight. You know, just the game is over.
Well, you get some officials that don't want to call anything, and then some that call it too strict, and that's where you get your problems. That if everybody call it across the board, that's not going to ever happen.
It's hard to do.
It is hard to do, but
3 people.
But a rule's a rule.
Well,
so if we're violating the rule out here,
so much of that is. But so much of that though,
if you're violating the rule out here about the coach being in the coach's box, but you go over here and play, and they let him walk 10 steps out of the coaching box, and it's all right. But he comes out here and plays, and this association out here pops him when he gets out of the coach's box. That's the difference right there.
And that's and that's a good point. Is that, and that's what they'll tell you at any of these officials meetings. They'll tell you consistency. If you let a coach sit outside the dugout on a bucket, you know, today, and you go back in 3 games to call his game again, and you have the other coach inside the dugout, and you make him sit inside the dugout this time, he doesn't know what to expect.
So, I mean,
So the consistent thing is, the coaches should be inside the dugouts.
Can he sit on the bucket inside the dugout?
He can sit on the bucket inside the dugout. He can do whatever he wants to, but their point is, first of all, it's a safety. It's a safety thing. But more important than that, it's just what you're talking about. It's consistency. And if you're going to be consistent with our crew today, saying, yeah, we don't care if you sit out on the bucket, then tomorrow another crew comes in and says, you're in the dugout, and he said, well, wait a minute, you know, I sat out here well, you're sitting in the dugout today. That's bad blood right off the bat. I mean, you know, then you're.
He didn't throw the first pitch, and you already
throw
got
the pitch,
started.
and you've already got the coaches thinking, well, here we go. You know, he's after me.
He's after me already.
Yeah. So that's a very valid point that you're bringing up there. Is consistency is the key.
And it's not consistent, so anyway, beside the point. No, we ain't got but a couple minutes left. Who wins the Super Bowl Sunday?
Well, you know, obviously you want to say New England. I mean, I think everybody that's where, and I think I'm going to say New England, not just because of Brady, but I think New England's defense has picked it up. I'm just not sure Philadelphia's offense can continue to play at a pace they've played before. Defensively, they're pretty good. If they can get a couple turnovers, I just think it's the experience.
I'm going to root for Philadelphia myself.
Oh, I didn't say that I wouldn't root for Philadelphia. I'm just saying I think the experience of the New England ball club with the coaches is maybe a little much to.
We'll see.
To overcome. Man, that starting tomorrow down now, the countdown. I mean, that's a hectic week, isn't it?
Sure is.
I mean,
we'll see.
To try to stay. Of course, and I'm not sure that this one being in Minneapolis might not be as much of a distraction as it has been in the past, where you're at an area where outside is much more going on than there would be in Indianapolis.
Yeah, up there the weather. Yeah. So you're probably right. But
well, all right. We'll get out and support your high school baseball, softball teams, and get ready for some tournament action. Be a lot of Super Bowl parties this weekend. So although you don't hear much, the Super Bowl thing hadn't been much of as much.
No, it's hot.
No. So enjoy the Super Bowl weekend. Enjoy the commercials. We'll see you right back here next Wednesday night.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.